Chemical reactions and equations exercises. Question 1. Which of the statements about the reaction below are incorrect? 2PbO solid plus C solid gives rise to 2Pb solid plus CO2 gas. A. Lead is getting reduced. B. Carbon dioxide is getting oxidized. C. Carbon is getting oxidized. D. Lead oxide is getting reduced. Answer A and B. Explanation: A. Because oxygen is being removed, and B. Because the removed oxygen from lead is added to the elemental carbon. Question 2. Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives rise to Al2O3 plus 2Fe. The above reaction is an example of A. Combination reaction. B. Double displacement reaction. C. Decomposition reaction. D. Displacement reaction. Answer D. Displacement reaction. Explanation: the oxygen from the ferrous oxide is getting displaced to the aluminium metal to form aluminium oxide. In this reaction, Al is more reactive than Fe. Therefore, Al will displace Fe from its oxide. Question 3. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron filings? Tick the correct answer. A. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. B. Chlorine gas and iron hydroxide are produced. C. No reaction takes place. D. Iron, salt, and water are produced. Answer A. Hydrogen gas and iron chloride are produced. 2HCl plus Fe gives rise to FeCl2 plus H2. Explanation: the chlorine from hydrogen chloride is displaced by the iron filings. Question 4. What is a balanced chemical equation? Why should chemical equations be balanced? Answer: a balanced chemical equation has the same number of atoms of each element on both sides. It should be balanced to satisfy the law of conservation of mass, which states that matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Question 5. Translate the following statements into chemical equations and then balance them. A. Hydrogen gas combines with nitrogen to form ammonia. 3H2 plus N2 gives rise to 2NH3. B. Hydrogen sulfide gas burns in air to give water and sulfur dioxide. 2H2S plus 3O2 gives rise to 2H2O plus 2SO2. C. Barium chloride reacts with aluminium sulfate to give aluminium chloride and a precipitate of barium sulfate. 3BaCl2 plus Al2SO4 thrice gives rise to 2AlCl3 plus 3BaSO4. D. Potassium metal reacts with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. 2K plus 2H2O gives rise to 2KOH plus H2. Question 6. Balance the following chemical equations. A. HNO3 plus CaOH twice gives rise to CaNO3 twice plus H2O. Balanced chemical equation: 2HNO3 plus CaOH twice gives rise to CaNO3 twice plus 2H2O. For balancing, refer the table as shown. B. NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise to Na2SO4 plus H2O. Balanced chemical equation: 2NaOH plus H2SO4 gives rise to Na2SO4 plus 2H2O. C. NaCl plus AgNO3 gives rise to AgCl plus NaNO3. Balanced chemical equation: NaCl plus AgNO3 gives rise to AgCl plus NaNO3. D. BaCl2 plus H2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus HCl. Balanced chemical equation: BaCl2 plus H2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus 2HCl. Question 7. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following reaction. A. Calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives rise to calcium carbonate plus water. Balanced chemical equation: 2CaOH twice plus 2CO2 gives rise to 2CaCO3 plus 2H2O. B. Zinc plus silver nitrate gives rise to zinc nitrate plus silver. Balanced chemical equation: Zn plus 2AgNO3 gives rise to ZnNO3 twice plus 2Ag. C. Aluminium plus copper chloride gives rise to aluminium chloride plus copper. Balanced chemical equation 2Al plus 3CuCl2 gives rise to 2AlCl3 plus 3Cu. D. Barium chloride plus potassium sulfate gives rise to barium sulfate plus potassium chloride. Balanced chemical equation BaCl2 plus K2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus 2KCl. Question 8. Write the balanced chemical equation for the following and identify the type of reaction in each case. A. Potassium bromide aqueous plus barium iodide aqueous gives rise to potassium iodide aqueous plus barium bromide solid. Balanced chemical equation 2KBr plus BaI2 gives rise to 2Ki plus BaBr2. The type of reaction in this case is double displacement reaction, also known as precipitation reaction. B. Zinc carbonate solid gives rise to zinc oxide solid plus carbon dioxide gas. Balanced chemical equation ZnCO3 gives rise to ZnO plus CO2. The type of reaction in this case is decomposition reaction. C. Hydrogen gas plus chlorine gas gives rise to hydrogen chloride gas. Balanced chemical equation H2 plus Cl gives rise to 2HCl. The type of reaction in this case is combination reaction. D. Magnesium solid plus hydrochloric acid aqueous gives rise to magnesium chloride aqueous plus hydrogen gas. Balanced chemical equation Mg plus 2HCl gives rise to MgCl2 plus H2. The type of reaction in this case is displacement reaction. Question 9. What does one mean by exothermic and endothermic reactions? Give examples. Exothermic reactions. Reactions that release heat. Example, C plus O2 gives rise to CO2 plus heat. Endothermic reactions. Reactions that observe heat. Example, CaCO3 in presence of heat gives rise to CaO plus CO2. Question 10. Why is respiration considered an exothermic reaction? Explain. Respiration is the breakdown of glucose in presence of oxygen to release energy. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives rise to 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. It releases energy heat, hence it's an exothermic reaction. Question 11. Why are decomposition reactions called the opposite of combination reactions? Write equations for these reactions. Decomposition. A compound breaks down into simpler substance. Combination. Two or more substances combine to form one compound. They are opposites in terms of reactants and products. Question 12. Write one equation each for decomposition reactions where energy is supplied as heat, light or electricity. Heat. CaCO3 in presence of heat gives rise to CaO plus CO2. Light. 2AgCl in presence of sunlight gives rise to 2Ag plus Cl2. Electricity. 2H2O in presence of electricity gives rise to 2H2 plus O2. Question 13. What is the difference between displacement and double displacement reactions? Displacement. One element replaces another in a compound. Example, Zn plus CuSO4 gives rise to ZnSO4 plus Cu. Double displacement. Two compounds exchange ions. Example, Na2SO4 plus BaCl2 gives rise to BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. Question 14. In the refining of silver, the recovery of silver from silver nitrate solution involved displacement by copper metal. Write down the reaction involved. 2AgNO3 plus Cu gives rise to CuNO3 twice plus 2Ag. Silver is displaced from silver nitrate by copper. This is a displacement reaction. What do you mean by a precipitation reaction? Explain by giving examples. A reaction where an insoluble solid precipitate forms from solution. Example, BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. BaSO4 is the white precipitate. Question 16. Explain the following in terms of gain or loss of oxygen with two examples each. First one, oxidation. Gain of oxygen, loss of hydrogen. Example, 2 Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 MgO. Second one, reduction. Loss of oxygen, gain of hydrogen. Example, CuO plus H2 gives rise to Cu plus H2O. Question 17. A shiny brown colored element X on heating in air becomes black in color. Name the element X and the black colored compound formed. Element X is equal to copper, Cu. Black compound is equal to copper oxide, CuO. Reaction 2Cu plus O2 gives rise to 2CuO. Question 18. Why do we apply paint on iron articles? To prevent rusting by forming a protective layer that blocks moisture and oxygen. Question 19. Oil and fat containing food items are flushed with nitrogen. Why? To prevent rancidity by displacing oxygen and preventing oxidation of fats. Question 20. Explain the following terms with one example each. First one, corrosion. Gradual destruction of metals due to reactions with air or moisture. Example, rusting of iron. 4Fe plus 3O2 plus 6H2O gives rise to 4FeOH thrice. Second one, rancidity. Spoiling of food containing fats or oils due to oxidation. Example, spoiling of chips exposed to air.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more educational video.